Emma's Universe podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe podcast.
Hello and welcome to Emma's podcast. So, in this podcast today, I need to explain a few things. One, it's related to a cause. I agreed to do an episode for a charity that is close to my heart, and I'm going to explain why and who is that charity. It's animal related, actually, and it's also close to my heart because three of my three pups actually are coming from that beautiful charity. So that's number one. Yeah, I have to pull my this is the joy of having a recording studio here, trying to find where my stuff is. But I'm going to be talking about the legend of the Paws. And it all started, first, Legend of the Paws got its name from Mo, the legendary chassis of Idaho. Mo is 14 years old and spent 9 months out in Idaho wilderness surviving the worst Idaho winter in recorded history, wolf and near starvation. In July 2017, she wandered onto a ranch and collapsed. That's where we come in. Our president, Sherry, that I do know and I really love, checked her out and suspected that she was the missing Mo. She took Mo into her home until her people could come and see her. After having their hope dashed so many times, they were hesitant to hope again. But they were rewarded because there was no questions. This was their Mo. She was officially a legend. Mo is home with her family. We have adopted her indomitable spirit for Legends of the Paws. They all have a story to tell. And I'm going to explain how I encounter this absolutely beautiful organization. And what do? They rescue dogs from shelters at risk for euthanasia. Their mission is to find them all loving home. They have dogs available for adoptions. Please look in adoptable section on their website, or you can go and connect with them on Facebook, where they are the most active actually. And they can transport to an approved adopter anywhere in the US. So, Legend of the Paws, actually, I came across Legend of the Paws, which is a true story, guys. Actually, it's not a made up one, is my dogs. I had cats. I grew up with dogs and cats, both, at the same time. We were terrified of cats because they dilate their pupils, so we always thought they were like snakes, and it just scared the crap out of us when my mom decided to have one she called Mickey. It was a black and white cat. Great cat. But when that cat appeared in our home, we were on one side of the room and the cat was on the other side. And when we were moving in the opposite direction because it's scared of the cats. Well, fast forward. When I moved here over 3 decades ago, my 2 cats were brought by Mommy Dearest here. So I got my cats. And when they passed away, I adopted one, and his name is Max, aka Malu. And that boy was a Persian, because I always wanted Persian. My cat was an Angora, the one I had from Europe that came here. And Malu was actually a Persian, and I got it from a rescue, actually. I didn't want to buy one. I was going on Pet Finders, and I found him. Then I decided to have him having a companion, which was another cat, another Persian, and her name was Wailua. Malu lived, he was until 20 years old. And if you don't know, the Persian passed at their life expectancy is 14 or 12 and a half. I don't remember if it's 14 or 12 and a half. So it's shorter than what Malu was. Wailua passed away. She was 18 years old. Beautiful cat. She was absolutely gorgeous. Such a little teeny cat. And I got Caramel Pipet, again, another rescue Persian. After she passed away, I decided that I should look not for a cat, but for a dog. I was extremely involved via Twitter, tweet, and I was actually pledging for rescuing animals. So, meaning pledging is when there is, and you have to be extremely cautious on that, a rescuer that wants to put a hold on an animal on the euthanasia list. They have to pull them out, but you have to pay fees. So, pledging $20-$50 on those animals to be pulled out, to be rescued. There, I met somebody. I dearly respect this individual, Ash. Ash is part of emergency rescue team as well. So when there is a hurricane or anything like that, he will go and be the boots on the ground and help evacuated animals as well. So I trusted him because we formed a bond, even though I never met physically Ash. He is, as I said, a top rescue. Unfortunately, there isn't enough scammers around the block that try to take over his name, whatever the deal is. Typical things, but however. And I saw, it was 5 years ago, a cat that was in Memphis, Tennessee, and beautiful dogs that needed to be rescued, needed an adopters. Went in there, asked for it. Too late, there was a hold put on him, could not adopt the pups. And I said, okay, university, if it's not him, it's going to be another one. And a month or two later, I saw a picture that Ash posted, and it was actually Maca, my MacArthur, my big baby, like I call him. If you follow me on Instagram or on TikTok, the word of the day, it's all about my dogs. You will only see my dogs in there and other things, but the majority of stuff on my account on Insta, it's all what I do. It's all about the dogs. And Maca, I saw the picture, and instead of jumping right away to, wanted to, see if it was available, I waited 24 hours because I didn't want it to be disappointed this time around. Because, the first time was bite me. So I'm like, well, let's do this a better way. Let's do this a better way. And I asked him, and I DM Ash directly, and I asked him, I said, one, is he still available? And two, what is his temperament? Because I didn't want a crazy one. Wait for the rest. Trust me. And meaning a crazy one who really is hyperactive, cannot stop like a little bunny energizer. And he said to me, it's still available. And no, it's pretty much laid back. I'm like, okay, that could work. And I said, I would be interested. So how do we go from here? So what he did, because Legend of the Paws, and I absolutely love Sherry and her team and what she's doing, you have to fill an application. They do the background check, which I really appreciated. And you needed a sponsor. So Ash, because he knew me for quite some time, vouched for me. So she was traveling, I remember, she wasn't in Idaho. She was traveling to California at that time. So it was a little delay, which was okay. And she started to send me a picture of the foster mom Carrie. I absolutely adore Carrie as well. God bless her heart. She's based in Texas. And the dogs were on death row, actually. And I saw Maca, aka MacArthur, with another dog sleeping next to him. So I assume it was a foster dog. But it did caught my attentions. And I asked a question and I said, is the dog a foster or is it another one for adoption? And I remember Sherry was redirecting me to Mike because she was concerned that I might change my mind. I'm like, no, I'm going to adopt him. But I was curious to the other dogs that was always in a picture next to him. And they said to me, well, it's another foster that needs to be adopted, but they bonded. And at the beginning, she never asked for, me taking her. But I realized they were bonded. And I had a long conversation with the universe. Very long conversation. Because I did not want it to split them. Because I had an instinct, a gut feeling, you would say, that tell me that those two could not be split. Because if they were split, she would not make it. That's what I had a sense about. So I actually adopted both of them. And as I said, universe, you better try to do my freaking back because I'm taking on not one dog, but I'm taking on two dogs. So we finalized the adoptions. They were transported in September, 5 years ago. And I can tell you, when I saw Daddy, I'm like, I don't know. Her look was so intense. She has such an intense look. I'm like, is she going to bite my head off? And she was a puppy. And I'm like, it was impressive. She's impressive. When you see her, she's beautiful. She's majestic. But the look, the intensity in her eyes is like, holy crap. You can feel her presence. So when they put it down on the ground, I let them get it out of the, the van. And they put both of them on the ground. I just, got them outside, got them to go potty, and then hop in the car. And Maka went to sleep right away. Daddy, for 2 hours, was sitting, staring at everything, smelling the air. It was just amazing. And I must say, because Daddy had PTSD, more issues. For Mac, it took not even a couple of weeks, not even a month, for him to adjust to everything. And Daddy took 2.5 years for her to settle. She is settled, but she still have a little things, little issues. This is who she is, but she's super smart, super bright. And I discover and I learn more about the Legend of the Paws. What do they do? Why are they helping other rescue groups? Because it's not only pulling those dogs out of high kill shelter in Texas, in New York, and in California, but it's also helping other rescue as well. They foster dogs. They help families to adopt those animals. If there is an issue with the animals, let's say there is situation come later on that the dog needs to be rehome, they will help to do that. She has sacrificed so much for that charity that she's doing, because even money coming out of her retirement goes in there as well. She's an amazing lady, Sherry. I absolutely adore her. I love Carrie, who's one of the foster and has fostered so many dogs. This charity, every penny you give to them, they are the one to spend it on the animals, on the vet bills. Because to tell the story, Mac he was 5 months old when he ended up in a high kill shelter. I truly believe he was abused. That's why he's afraid of water. He's literally afraid of water. He has adapted here to the lake. It took him a year to approach the water. He would step in the water. I had videos of both of them. Daddy is a swimmer. She loves swimming. So I would throw the ball. I take a tennis racket. That's why we play tennis. And I will throw the ball as far as I can into the water. She goes and swims. She learned to swim. She loved that. And Mike will start at the beginning. He was on the beach waiting for her, grabbing the ball from her mouth, take it away, and run for the hills. He would not give it to me, which is hilarious. And then as he progressed, he started to go into the water. So he will go where he can touch the sand. And when it's too deep, he doesn't. But he has made an effort compared to what he was in the past. I absolutely love my dogs because my dogs for me are my everything. Sherry has started that nonprofit organization, has fought all the way to be able to help animals, dogs in particular, and she's not doing it only locally in her state. She's doing it across the US, supporting as well and helping when she can other rescue group. Legend of the Paws need our support and our help to continue to function because those are nonprofit organization, which means nonprofit organization means money. Then we give it to them because when I paid for the transport, I pay for some of the stuff as well. They do pay for the bills. So going back to Mac, basically when he ended up in that high kill shelter, gave up on his life. He was so sick. He had no hair. He had scab on his skin. He was skeleton, not very wealthy at all. Healthy, not wealthy, but healthy. When they took him to the vet, he stayed for an entire week in the emergency, and he was giving up on life, literally shutting down. And Carrie went and saw him every day. And he started to turn himself around. So Daddy was in bad condition, not as much than he was, but they were being abused. And she was 2 months old when she got dumped into the high kill shelters. So they were able to pull them at the last minute and save their lives. Now I have 3 pups, not 2, but 3. Lulu still comes from actually Legend of the Paws. The story for him is slightly different because it's somebody that Sherry knew, and it's again Texas, and their dogs, or the neighbor's dogs, went and basically decided to copulate it with a prize dog. And because Lulu is a Dachshund mixed Jack Russell, and I think the dog, the hybrid dog was a Dachshund. He had 3 brothers. I believed that he wasn't treated very well either. And I had to teach him quite a few things for him because he always felt when he was eating, he was fighting for his food. So I had to teach him that he can eat safely, that nobody's going to steal his food, that he doesn't have to feel when you get a treat, somebody's going to steal it. So that's another thing. Super smart dog, but it comes from the Legends of the Past as well. This is such a beautiful organization. Every penny, as I said, goes to the organization, and they're doing so much good by pulling all of those dogs, fostering them, and they are sent everywhere in the US in good homes. So that's the reason why I'm doing this podcast today, is to talk about the Legend of the Past, sharing the story of my dogs and how I end up with those dogs, and aware of, and I'm very grateful for Ash, but if the Legend of the Past wasn't there, then I would have never met those guys. It started with 1, I wanted 1 dog, I ended up with 2, now I have 3. The universe works its interesting way. I'm not gonna argue with this one, but I am glad to know Sherry and how much sacrifice she has done to get this organization continue to run, and every penny counts. So if you want to give to a wonderful charity that really makes a difference in the life of animals who are at high kill shelters, this is your organization. The money goes to those animals. It doesn't pay anyone's salary at all. So look at Legend of the Paws. Look at those guys. You can find them again on Facebook or on their website, which is legends with an S at the end of the Paws with an S at the end.com. And this is one word. I love those guys. They've been phenomenal, and I do respect and love them very much. So I hope you guys will find that if you want to give to a good charity that really makes an impact, choose those guys. They are worthy. All my love, guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye now.
Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe Podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe Podcast. Universe Podcast.